if I'll give you 10 lakh rupees for growth, so where that amount you are going to invest and why?
First thing would be on production of good quality videos which can create the awareness for the brand.
यार मेरे को तो सबसे ज़्यादा भी important लगता है logistics.
If I was given 10 lakhs today, I would break it into 3 verticals. I'll do a 70-20-10 split.
And how you guys find out your co-founders?
My first signal is not a skill fit. My first signal is intent.
Why customer will choose your product?
So it's better to talk about startups, fundraising, VC, capital fund, and everything. So welcome to the podcast. And right now I'm having a quite well-funded and startup companies with me. And this is a very personal podcast because I know all of you very well. Okay, since when you start building a product, speaking to the VCs, demo day and everything. So before we start, I will really love you guys to introduce yourself, what you are, who you are, what you are building, and how you come across. So we'll start with you.
So hi, Priyanshu here. I'm building Reflow AI. Basically, it's helping brands to operate and scale better on quick commerce. We'll delve deeper into that. Before this, I worked in M&A, I've worked in tech and joined MU a while ago. Reflow has been the venture we've been building for the past 4-5 months, and yeah, happy to delve into.
Hi, I'm Karthik. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and what I am building right now is a brand called Moonzy, and we understood the gap that no other brand was building for a person, which is you after 9 p.m. So we are trying to dwell more on that and create a personality around it and make sure what you're eating at night is good so that your mornings are better.
So hi, my name is Pratik. So I'm just building this founders page on which you all guys are here, and I'm just working so hard so that we can build this product. And we are helping the people, those who want to build something. So this is the page for that.
Yeah, hello, I'm Vishal. I am a UI UX designer by profession, and I am the founder of BillyBox. BillyBox is a subscription-first platform that delivers home-cooked meals to people from local home chefs. So, and my background is, as I told you, I am a UI UX designer, and I also started my own business when I was in the first year of my college. I started selling WordPress themes and plugins, and in about 3.5 years, I earned more than 20 lakh rupees from that business, and it just cost me 5,000 rupees per month for hosting and all, and nothing else. So yeah.
So tell us more about your startup, how it's started, and how you have faced some problem. Then only you have started it. So what are the problem you are trying to solve? Let us know. Start with you, Karthik.
Sure. So being very frank, I am someone who watches movie almost every night, and while watching
Count me in.
movies, anything you told, podcast, movies, series, anything, and while watching, I have to eat something, and I always eat whatever is there available in the market. The problem is what's available right now is something which your body cannot function well at night with. The problem is when you're having something which is extremely high on sodium, extremely high on calories, extremely high on sugar at night. You're having that cortisol high, and you feel very good. But in the morning, you feel very puffy. You feel very bad. And in the morning, you feel like I don't feel like waking up. All these things happen. Now, I can't stop munching. That's very true. And I can't sleep early. My nature is such that I am a night owl. And like me, there are so many people who are night owl who function well at night. And for them, there's nothing which actually solves for their problem. If you are hungry at night, rather than saying don't eat, say eat something which is not bad in the morning. We have made sure that we have not positioned it as a healthy brand. We are trying to position it as a culture around night, where we are saying try to normalize the night behavior and night people who are there. They are very creative, they are out of the box thinkers, and they are someone who is going out of the box, out of their way to make their way on something which they are building very silently. And I think that is a culture we need to say things more about, rather than pushing the fact that get up in the morning, have protein, go jog, go. It's okay. You are not that. It's totally fine. You are a creative person. You are a creative soul. You are building. You are trying to do things which is different. You should be appreciated, not that. So,
And on top of that, still consume healthy snacks.
Exactly.
That's a plus.
The snack is just a medium to get those kind of people and give them a platform. So that is what we are trying to solve.
Absolutely agree. And
Yeah. So Reflow is basically building a market intelligence layer for D2C brands. I'll tell you exactly where we came onto the problem and why we're solving that. Initially, our idea was to solve for D2C brands for sure, because ultimately India is a consumption-driven economy, and if you wanted to build a SaaS out of here, you would generally have to export your product or service, or have either in the Gulf countries or in the States, somewhere around that. We were thinking of building something in the D2C space, but then we were not looking to build a D2C brand first. We were talking to a lot of founders. I interviewed like 30, 40 D2C founders, and first, initially what we were trying to solve for was key. Every time a customer comes and shops from your website, why are they dropping off? Who's dropping off? Is the sale happening or not? What are the reasons that the person did not buy? So that your company has all of the market research on the users that are coming to your platform and are either dropping off, buying it, or coming back twice. You would have reasoning for why anyone is shopping multiple times or dropping off multiple times, so on and so forth. This will ultimately enhance your sales funnel and increase its depth. Now, after talking to 20, 30 founders, what we realized is many people are already solving in this space, and it is very democratized. Like you can just get a plugin tomorrow and get
Absolutely, absolutely.
for your website. So then website was definitely not the go-to. Now, serendipitously, we met this one founder who came and told us, hey man, it's great that you're trying to build for our own platforms, but how about you try to solve something for us in quick commerce? Because first off, most of the major brands building currently in the D2C space, specifically in the consumer packaged goods segments, they are going quick commerce first as their GTM strategy. Once they have PMF there only, then they move to omni-channel. So after talking to another 30, 40 set of D2C founders, what we realized was managing quick commerce is definitely a very big hassle for these brands. I'll give you an example. Let's say if I'm a brand who has 8 to 10 SKUs, like Karthik here has started with 3 to 5 sets. If he's getting to 5 to 10 SKUs and he's operating across, let's say, just Gurgaon, just one city, okay, he will have to look at thousands of data points every hour. Now that for a D2C founder is a very big problem, because he's not in the business of looking at data and analyzing. He's in the business of selling his D2C product, managing marketing, all of that. So all of these data sets for a brand who is only doing 10 SKUs in one city is such diverse that if I look at, let's say, any brand, let's say Go Zero as an ice cream category, they have 20 to 40 SKUs and they are listed all across the country. They would be looking at multiple tens of thousands of data points every single week. Now, the 4 key problems that we are currently solving for is, first, most of the brands do not have an insight of where their product is and where they're advertising. So for example, I'm spending 1 lakh rupees on advertising currently. You saw the product as a consumer on Blinkit, you went to tap buy, but the product was not available in that location. Now I've wasted that sale, and I've also wasted that advertisement spent that I did early. So I definitely need an insight in where exactly is my product so that I run my ads better. Second, most of these brands are also losing to competitors bidding on their keywords. So let's say I go to Blinkit. I say I need to buy dark chocolate ice cream. That's what I search, dark chocolate ice cream. Now, if you as a brand are ranking in one of the top 20 tiles, great. You definitely are visible to the customer. If you are ranking below 20, 30 positions, generally as a user, even you know that you're not going that far into buying the product and you're probably buying from the top 4 or 5 tiles. So then if you're not visible in the right places for the right keywords, even if your product is great, you're probably not even visible to the customer, and that's why there's no chance of selling as such. So visibility is there. There's availability of where your stock is, where you're moving. Third is, again, your performance campaigns are not that optimized because you don't have an insight on how the industry and keywords are moving altogether. Who's bidding on what is the keyword that has very high user intent but is also available for cheap in performance. You can get a really great ROAS from there. So there's marketing, advertisement, availability, how you're visible, all of that. What our platform, Reflow, is basically a market intelligence platform that is helping you solve all of these problems. The end goal of the product here is very simple. As a founder, it will give you, based on all the data sets we are collecting currently across the country, across all the categories, from multiple brand side and platform side. So what it's going to give you is, hey, these are the 50 SKUs sitting in Delhi, and Delhi is not your most selling region, let's say. You'll have to shift them out of the warehouses and take them to Mumbai because Mumbai has crazy demand for your product. This is the kind of insight you will get. You need to bid, your last campaign was 1 lakh rupees in Delhi, let's say, on Keyboard X. you need to double down on that because ROAS there is maximum. So insights like these, where do you move your inventory, where do you position your advertisements, where do you position your product in specific keywords, this is exactly the insight it will give you and not just the data. Currently we're looking at data sets and analyzing them, but we're an insight first company.
Wow.
So good.
Literally. And over to you, Vishal.
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, sorry guys. I sometimes tend to delve too deep into my product. I'm very passionate about it.
What are you building and what problem you are trying to solve?
Okay, so as I said that I'm building Bellybox. So Bellybox solves a very big problem. अगर आप घर से बाहर जाते हो, मतलब आप बड़े होने के बाद घर से बाहर जाते हो, तो सबसे बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है, लेकिन सबसे बड़ी एक प्रॉब्लम है कि फूड मैनेज करना, मतलब कंसिस्टेंट होम स्टाइल फूड. ठीक है, आप घर पे रहते हो तो आपको बताना नहीं पड़ता है रोज की, या फिर आधे घंटे अपनी माँ के साथ मेन्यू डिस्कस नहीं करना होता है जैसे हम अब, लेकिन हम बाहर जाते हैं तो आधा घंटा लग जाता है कम से कम अगर स्विगी जोमेटो से ऑर्डर करते हैं. तो आज के टाइम में खाना कोई बहुत बड़ी चीज नहीं है, 10 मिनट में आ जाएगा, होम डिलीवर हो जाएगा, घर पे आ जाएगा. लेकिन एक मतलब घर का बना हुआ खाना जो रोज खा सकता है ना. तो जब घर से बाहर निकलते हैं तो सबसे बड़ा जो मैं दिल्ली एनसीआर में 9 साल से रह रहा हूँ, तो 9 साल पहले मैं आया था घर से बाहर. तो अभी मेरे को 9 साल में सबसे ज्यादा अगर कोई चैलेंज आया जो घर का खाना ढूंढने में.
I agree.
हाँ, तो टिफिन सर्विसेज दिल्ली एनसीआर में बहुत सारी आंटीज हैं जो घर से बहुत बढ़िया खाना बनाती है, लेकिन दे रिमेन अनडिस्कवर्ड बिकॉज देयर इज नो प्लेटफॉर्म, है ना. तो वर्ड ऑफ माउथ पे डिपेंड होना पड़ता है उनको भी. और अगर एक नए शहर में आया हूँ, एक फ्लैट लिया है मैंने और मेरे को टिफिन सर्विस ढूंढना है, तो मैं भी वर्ड ऑफ माउथ पे ही डिपेंडेंट हूँ. मेरे को आसपास जाके पूछना पड़ेगा. देयर इज नो प्लेटफॉर्म राइट नाउ. देयर आर सम स्मॉल प्लेटफॉर्म्स, बट वो मतलब वो क्या कर रहे हैं, वो जो ऑन डिमांड डिलीवरी का जो मतलब बिजनेस मॉडल है वो जबरदस्ती इसमें फिट कर रहे हैं, जो कि डेली मील में नहीं फिट बैठेगा. डेली मील में आपको जैसे घर पे आपको रोज बताना नहीं होता है, आप माँ से हाँ पूछ सकते हो कि आज क्या बना रहे हो, ठीक है, लेकिन अगर आपके पास टाइम नहीं है बताने का तब भी आपको खाना आपके घर में बन जाएगा. तो वैसा हम कंफर्ट देना चाह रहे हैं बेली बॉक्स से, और वो मतलब घर का जो कंफर्ट एंड वार्मथ होता है वो हम देना चाह रहे हैं. और इसमें आपको रोज ऑर्डर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हो. वी आर अ सब्सक्रिप्शन फर्स्ट मॉडल. सो इफ यू सब्सक्राइब, अगर आप रोज देख सकते हो कि आज क्या डिनर में मिलने वाला है. अगर आपने चूज कर लिया है तो ऑप्शन, तो आपको वही आएगा, लेकिन अगर आपने नहीं भी चूज किया तो आपने प्रेफरेंसेस सेट किए होंगे, उसके हिसाब से आपको खाना मिल जाएगा. तो ये जो डेली हैसल है रोज स्क्रॉल करने का आधा घंटा, और जितनी भूख लगी है उतना ज्यादा टाइम लगता है, तो ये सब चीजें हम हटाना चाहते हैं और एक मतलब कंसिस्टेंट होम स्टाइल मील प्रोवाइड करना चाहते हैं लोगों के घर तक. तो that's our idea.
Crazy, yaar. I just want to know that apart from all of this, I just want to understand that how you guys choose your co-founders, because co-founders are one of the most important part in, like, I love their story. Okay, let's skip that. I just want to understand that before choosing a co-founder, what you guys really look for and how you guys find out your co-founders. And we'll start with Karthik.
Yeah, very frankly, we started here with dropshipping, and the biggest learning for me from dropshipping is that find a good team. My team was very good.
We were in the same. No, what we did was right before the event was even announced, we were already looking for people who were really passionate to do that, because we were trying to basically assemble a team that was gonna deliver the kind of objectives we were looking for, and we ended up making a great team. But
problem was the great team.
Yeah,
too many good eggs on the same basket. So
yeah, and so then decision making was really split between 5 different people with 5 different perspectives.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
You have to do the lots of reiterations.
Correct. The entire iteration of doing a product, selling it out there, was just stuck in decisions between 5 people who had insane perspectives individually, and yeah, it
biggest
didn't work
learning
out.
from that was that only when you are trying to build a team, try to finalize what you are good at and try to find contradictory skills. I am not good at marketing, but my first principle thinking is very good. So I have a lot of ideas. I need someone to structure it well and make it presentable. So now I am focusing on only those kind of people who are very good at marketing and who understand marketing very well, so that I don't have to interfere in their work, and I don't. They just have to understand from me what do you want to do. Now it's their lookout. So that was something which was not happening before. Like during our dropshipping also, I remember all of us were so enthused or so much they wanted to do that. Yeah, we want to do this thing, Like it was all idea first and not execution. And execution, the biggest problem was convincing the other person what we are saying is right. And that is something which kept happening again and again. I remember we took almost 1.5 months to finalize on a product. Like we did not start on a single.
And it was a
Yeah.
drop shipping project. So you are not supposed to think that much on a
And
product.
obviously,
Yeah.
trust me, our team had everything. Everything. He was
had
he was having
3
handling
performance
tech.
marketer.
Yeah.
I worked in tech before. I understand finances. This guy is a CA.
Yeah,
We
I
had
was handling
everyone on the
operations.
team. We had a couple of people in ops as well. They had worked in ops and supply chain before. They knew how to source vendors, get products, all of that. Yeah, didn't work out.
Everything was there. in
We
the
were
team.
one of the bottom teams in private
I
honest.
really relate to this because when I was having my drop shipping, my team is same. Like I have a person who done the performance marketing, meta ads and everything. I was a supply chain and operations guy. We have a finance person, but the same thing happens. Yeah.
So this time around, giving you my thesis on understanding a founder fit, my first signal is not a skill fit or looking at what they're good at. My first signal is intent. Because I am telling you, most of the problems that me and my co-founder face today are nothing that we'd ever thought of and nothing that we'd ever dealt with. So these are all new problems every day that we have no idea how to solve. Intent is what takes you to a longer journey here because you know this is your business, your problem, and regardless of what it takes, you'll have to solve it. If I'm very intentful about my business and startup as a whole, I will give it 12 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, or above, whatever it takes. But ultimately, it is ownership, intent, ability to solve problems, and then fit. Within fit, I have a very specific criteria of if you are willing to take down your opinion because of my objective analysis of your facts and my objectivity, if it is telling you something else, if you are willing to agree with that, we can be co-founders. Majority of the times, what the problem comes here is, let's say Karthik and I are co-founders in Moonzy. Now, I don't like the orange packaging, suppose. I like the color, but if Karthik is dead set on the orange packaging, I have no problem with that. He might have his own conviction. But if I go out, do a market research of, let's say, 10 people, and my conclusions tell me that orange is not the color that is hitting. If I come and present it to him, if Karthik is still not going to budge on the fact that no, I believe is that orange is the only color we'll have to go with, and then orange is what we'll go with, I think we cannot be co-founders because objective truth has to prevail over individual opinions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
खुद को जो पसंद है वो थोड़ी बनाना है.
Correct. Even I love the green color, but if 20 consumers come and tell me, hey man, I'm not into that, and maybe my market research is tending towards more of a red or a yellow or whatever, then definitely market objective truth prevails over every individual opinion. And if you're willing to agree with that, then yeah, the fit is there. Right. Correct. So as I said, intent, fit, and ability to solve problems. Ability to solve problems can come from anywhere. You can be a tech guy solving 100 tech problems a day. You can be an ops guy. You can solve 50 ops problems a day. But ultimately, that problem solving attitude has to be there. I look at the problem, I break it down and understand what I can do about it. That's pretty much it.
I think you covered most of the things, and that is the most important thing कि अगर एक चीज अगर स्टार्टिंग में ही पता चल रहा है ना, मेरे साथ एक्चुअली एक बार हुआ था, हम टी शर्ट का ब्रांड स्टार्ट कर रहे थे कॉलेज में स्टार्टिंग में, तो मेरा जो को फाउंडर था उसको एक नाम पसंद आया और वो सब टीम में और जितने लोग थे सब बोले थे कि भाई ये नाम नहीं पसंद आ रहा है, लेकिन उस नाम के लिए वो लड़ गए. तो मेरे को वही लगा कि अगर स्टार्टिंग में ही एक नाम डिसाइड करने में अगर इतनी दिक्कत हो रही है तो आगे चल के
there's going to be a million difference of opinions and agreeableness has to be there. Much bigger problems.
अगर सामने से ऐसा दिख रहा है कि उसके लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि मैं जो बोलूं वो
Has to come forward more than objective truth.
That bossiness, that I guess that's known as bossiness.
No, I mean you have to be a certain level of bossy to run a company for sure, but not with your co-founders.
Yeah, more than that, the biggest problem here is that many people, all of us who are building right now, I totally believe in this one concept where you just need to execute it. I don't know this will work out or not. Very few people get that. You just need to go out there in the market.
Most of what you're doing, you have no idea if it's gonna work or not.
If I would have the idea, then I'll be the next billionaire. And obviously, there is no point of discussion.
Perfectionism, that it has to be perfect. And I'm like, bro, I have changed the packaging 4 times. Still, I am confused. Is it a good packaging or not? Like, it's fine. It's totally cool. You are building and these things are bound to happen. That is where most of the fights happen. Rather than fighting, if we just go out there and, just test it out. What's going to happen? Max. you're gonna come to me like, it's not, at least I tried. You did not try. That's a win for me. So that's
Absolutely.
something which very few people get. So that is what my fundamental principle in doing anything is the same. That is execution first, then we'll figure out the later stage, later thing. Like if the product fit has been there, product people like the product, then anything can be worked out. मैं website बना दूंगा, मैं ये कर दूंगा, मैं tech डाल दूंगा, सब हो जाएगा. मुझे पता चल गया product तो पसंद है ना लोगों को. वो ही नहीं पसंद, एकदम अच्छी पैकेजिंग करूंगा, टी-शर्ट पहन के घूमूंगा, क्या होने वाला है?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a guy in my cohort. His name is Taranveer. He is building Very Spice. Okay, what he did is that he knows very well कि यार spices बना रहा है. उसमें कुछ है ही नहीं. क्या है? उसने सबसे पहले spice बनाया, मार्केट में लेकर गया. अगर पसंद आ रहा है, 3 चीज हो सकता है. या तो रख सकते हैं अपने डिटेल्स में, या तो नहीं बोलेंगे, या तो बोलेंगे बाद में आना. तीनों में I have an answer कि मुझे क्या करना है on the next day onwards. So yeah, I think this is the right approach.
Yeah, so just want to understand your perspective, as we know that there are lots of company, those who are big giants, for example, Blinkit, Zepto. So how you are going to approach the customer? Like why customer will choose your product rather than choosing
Okay,
Blinkit,
in this
Zepto?
context, he means like suppose you have quick commerce companies. Okay, you have multiple competitors. You also have multiple competitors like Gobble Cube and a few others as well. You have a giant with you. Okay, fine. So like how you guys are tackling with the competitors, and we'll start with you.
So actually, I would say कि Zomato and Swiggy or Bistro is not our competitor because they are fighting a war of delivering stuff in 10 minutes, right? And many big companies are now entering like Amazon and Flipkart. So what we are doing, our app is completely different from Zomato and Swiggy because Zomato and Swiggy, what problem do they solve? If you open Zomato, what problem does it solve for you? What are you going to eat in next 30 minutes, right? But Bellybox, when you open Bellybox, you will see, are you sorted for meals for this month or this week, right? So, and our logistics is also completely different. We are focused on bulk orders. ठीक है, same time slot पे हमेशा meal deliver होगा, breakfast, lunch, dinner, और हम हमेशा bulk order पे फोकस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि वही बात है कि आप घर का खाना आपको रोज एक टाइम पे मिल जाना चाहिए. आपको वही रोज आधा घंटा ऐसे ब्राउज करने की जरूरत ना पड़े. तो स्विगी जोमेटो हमारा डायरेक्ट कॉम्पिटिटर कभी नहीं होगा क्योंकि घर के खाना से बोर होके कभी ना कभी कोई ना कोई स्विगी जोमेटो करेगा ही. लेकिन अगर आप घर से बाहर रहते हो और स्विगी जोमेटो पे ही आपको डिपेंड होना पड़ता है और रेस्टोरेंट ग्रेड फूड पे डिपेंड होना पड़ता है, वो वाली प्रॉब्लम हम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. तो स्विगी जोमेटो इज नॉट आवर डायरेक्ट कॉम्पिटिटर. डायरेक्ट कॉम्पिटिटर इज कुकर हैज एक्सपेंडेड इन 9 cities इन चेन्नई, और अभी वो हैदराबाद में एक्सपैंड करने के लिए उसको अच्छी खासी फंडिंग मिली है और अभी हैदराबाद में एक्सपैंड कर रहा है. एंड सेम बिजनेस मॉडल है, subscription first.
I had a couple of questions. I was just curious about your model. First off, are you competing on price with the competitor you just mentioned? Like, what's the average order value we're looking at there versus with us? Second, and more importantly, on the supply side, I think the biggest challenge that you might face, this is just an assumption, man, I'm an outsider. But on the supply side, I think the biggest challenge that you might face is quality assurance. Because since you're aggregating from multiple households specifically, and these are not commercial organizations, so they're not bound to deliver on the quality. They would want to obviously to increase their business, but they're not bound to deliver on those quality sets. So how do we ensure that, multiple aggregators that we're picking up our food from, our suppliers basically, how do we ensure QA across the bandwidth? And since, because of the fact that let's say he onboards on your platform tomorrow, he orders tomorrow evening from one kitchen, that one kitchen for that just one order did not do as well as you would think in terms of quality, he's never coming back.
Got it, yeah.
Because he now has assumption that, hey man, this is good on price, but maybe this is not that good on quality, so I cannot compromise on quality and I'm out. So on the supply side, I think how do you ensure quality first and how are you competing on prices second?
Okay, so let's talk about the quality first. So what we are doing is we are like connecting home chefs जो घर से जिन्होंने already start किया हुआ है. अभी हम उन पे फोकस कर रहे हैं जिन्होंने पहले से स्टार्ट किया हुआ है, जिनके ऑलरेडी कस्टमर्स हैं और जो कंसिस्टेंटली डिलीवर कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो उनको अभी हम कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं. लेकिन बाद में ऑब्वियसली हम ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा होम शेफ्स को, जब डिमांड बढ़ेगी तो हम और ज़्यादा होम शेफ्स को टारगेट करेंगे. तो ये हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होगा कि क्वालिटी और कंसिस्टेंसी की रोज खाना बन जाना चाहिए, है ना. तो होम शेफ को हम वही सोच रहे कि हम उनको मतलब हम सीखेंगे, खुद भी हम सीखेंगे कि कैसे मतलब अभी के होम शेफ्स को हम कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं, वो अपना काम कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हैं, और फिर हम होम शेफ्स को, जो नए होम शेफ्स हैं, उनको हम वो चीजें बताएंगे कि आप ऐसे ऐसे कर सकते हो। और मतलब हमेशा हम होम शेफ्स जैसे अगर और क्वालिटी कैसे हम इंश्योर करेंगे, हम रेगुलर चेक करें, मतलब रेगुलरली हम उनका मील जैसे
Spot checks.
हाँ स्पॉट चेक्स, जैसे उनको नहीं पता चलेगा कि कस्टमर ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, हम ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, तो हम कुछ मील्स हर वीक, हम कुछ मील्स हर वेंडर से लेके आयोडीन टेस्ट पनीर में ये सब चीजें हम करते रहेंगे, और रिव्यूज होंगे, ये सब मतलब चीजें हम, कस्टमर का रिव्यू होगा। और अगर कोई, हाँ तो और दूसरी बात कि यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स, तो यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स में कुकर अभी वो 160 या 170 के अराउंड पर मील वो ले रहा है, और वो है अभी चेन्नई में और हैदराबाद में भी एक्सपैंड कर रहा है, तो वहाँ 150 टू 180 उसका मील होता है। तो उसमें ऑन डिमांड में और ज्यादा होता है कि अगर आपको कुछ मतलब आज ही ऑर्डर करने,
या स्पेशल ऑर्डर समथिंग,
स्पेशल ऑर्डर्स, तो हमारा विलिंगनेस टू पे के हिसाब से अलग अलग जगह पे ये हम प्राइस मतलब चेंज करेंगे, क्योंकि मैं 9 साल से दिल्ली में रह रहा हूँ, अगर हम गुड़गांव में, अभी मैं गुड़गांव में पहली बार रह रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे जो खाने का प्राइस है ये सबसे ज्यादा है पूरे दिल्ली एनसीआर में, ठीक है।
पॉकेट साइज ज्यादा।
It's still not good quality.
और लक्ष्मी नगर में यहाँ पे आपको एवरेज प्राइस वही है 120 टू 150, अगर टिफिन सर्विस अगर आप ले रहे हो, रेगुलर मील है ना, अगर आप लक्ष्मी नगर के साइड में जाते हो आपको वही चीज 70 टू 80 में मिल जाता है, ठीक है। और क्योंकि वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा स्टूडेंट
You're
है,
telling me that you're gonna keep your pricing hyper local.
नो हाइपर लोकल, हाँ मतलब या सो क्योंकि वहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स, अब लक्ष्मी नगर में मैं जाऊँगा, वहाँ पे मैं रहा हूँ, मैं जब जीमैट की तैयारी कर रहा था तो मैंने सोचा कि ऐसी जगह पे रहता हूँ जहाँ थोड़ा रिसर्च किया जा सके, तो मैंने बहुत सारे टिफिन वेंडर्स को इंटरव्यू किया, वहाँ पे बहुत सारे कस्टमर्स को मिला, तो वहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होगा क्वालिटी इंश्योर करना और सही प्राइस पे देना, क्योंकि वहाँ पे लोगों को आदत है 60 टू 80 रुपीज का प्रॉपर मील खाने का, और वो इतना मील देता है कि अगर 2 रोटी एक्स्ट्रा ले लो तो 2 लोग खा लेंगे उसमें। तो दैट इज अ चैलेंज फॉर अस कि विलिंगनेस टू पे के हिसाब से, तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम एक जगह पे अभी सीख रहे हैं, हम गुड़गांव से स्टार्ट करेंगे, यहाँ पे एक ब्लूप्रिंट बनाएंगे हम, और फिर धीरे धीरे अलग अलग जगह पे स्टार्ट करेंगे। अब गुड़गांव में भी एक जगह से हम नहीं स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। और दूसरा कि यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स में एक और चीज है कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि हम एक मील पे अभी फ्लैट 30 रुपीज डिलीवरी फीस ले रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो अभी हम फ्लैट 30 रुपीज ले रहे हैं, अगर जैसे ही 3 मील कोई ऑर्डर करता है, हम हमेशा बल्क ऑर्डर पे फोकस करेंगे, ठीक है। जैसे ही 3 मील कोई लेता है ना, तो हम ब्रेक इवन कर जाएंगे, ठीक है, डिलीवरी में, और 10% कमीशन वो अलग है हम जो ले रहा है, ठीक है। तो हमारा पूरा जो बिजनेस मॉडल है वो बल्क ऑर्डर पे फोकस्ड है। और हाँ, और बल्क ऑर्डर जैसे अगर हम 10 ऑर्डर डिलीवर कर रहे हैं, एक राइडर है वो कम से कम 15 मील एक बार में डिलीवर कर सकता है, और यही हमारा सबसे बड़ा मतलब क्या बोलते हैं मोट होगा कि हाँ कि जितना ज्यादा मील डिलीवर कर सकता है उतना ज्यादा कॉस्ट, हम डिलीवरी कॉस्ट कट कर सकते हैं अगर, हाँ। और अगर मान लो कि, और हम इसी के लिए ना स्टार्टिंग में ज्यादातर हम फोकस कर रहे हैं ऑफिस स्पेसेस, ठीक है, पीजी, कॉलेजेस, ये सब को लिविंग स्पेस, ठीक है। तो यहाँ से बल्क ऑर्डर आएगा, और हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि पहले हमने सोचा था कि सिर्फ सब्सक्रिप्शन रहेगा हमारा, ओनली सब्सक्रिप्शन, लेकिन हम मतलब हम जब डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो मतलब उस पर, अब अगर मान लो कि स्टार्टिंग में हमने एक बिल्डिंग में स्टार्ट किया, मान लो यहीं पे हमने स्टार्ट किया, स्टार्टिंग में 5 ही लोग ले रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारी कैपेसिटी है 15 की, एक राइडर 15 मील्स डिलीवर कर सकता है, तो ये जो 10 मील का जो मतलब वो, तो हम उसमें ऑन डिमांड हम भी कर सकते हैं, जिसमें मतलब हम ऑन डिमांड भी ऑर्डर ले सकते हैं, इसमें थोड़ा सा प्राइस ज्यादा होगा, तो इसमें डिलीवरी फीस हमारे लिए उतना ही लग रहा है, और हम जो मतलब हमारी कैपेसिटी है 15 मील्स डिलीवर करने की, हर राइडर 15 मील्स कर सकता है, लेकिन स्टार्टिंग में 5 ही कर रहा है, अगर वो कैपेसिटी है बची हुई तो हम उसको यूटिलाइज करेंगे, और उसमें ऐसे भी ज्यादा पैसे आ रहे हैं हमें। और अगर इस टाइम पे अगर आप घर का बना हुआ खाना, मतलब होमली मील अगर आप जोमेटो स्विगी पे भी ऑर्डर करते हो, तो गुड़गांव में इट्स अराउंड 220 टू एवरेज
इजीली,
हाँ, तो हम उसको 180 या 180 तक में डिलीवर कर रहे हैं, तो इसको हम और भी ऊपर लेके जा सकते हैं, मतलब देखते हैं कि मतलब, क्योंकि वैल्यू वही जो भूपेश सर ने हमें सिखाया कि प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू जितनी है उस हिसाब से प्राइसिंग होनी चाहिए, तो इसी में हम स्टार्ट ही कर रहे हैं, तो हम इस पे तो थोड़ा खेल के देखेंगे Okay, हाँ.
Yeah, Vishal, yeah, I just talked to you and you just mentioned me about that LPG crisis that you are facing right now. I really love that if you bring on that.
हाँ, मतलब ये तो देखो
Yeah, that is absolute problem. That is absolutely problem. LPG के वजह से ना like restaurants बंद हो रहे हैं, PGs बंद हो रहे हैं, vendors नहीं मिल रहे हैं, and customers तो मांग रहे हैं. Okay.
I live in the college hostel. This is the first time I've picked a hostel. And basically, our vendor just told me yesterday कि yeah, we've been out of LPG for a while and we built a चूल्हा और हम उसी में बना रहे हैं अभी तो. और भैया अब देखते हैं ये कितने टाइम चल सकता है. अगर ज्यादा टाइम खींचा तो we might not be serving food.
Just you mentioned कि problems कहीं से भी आ सकते हैं. Business में मतलब हो सकता है कि कोई थर्ड पार्टी में कुछ हुआ and you are impacted.
Yeah,
This is
100%.
business.
You see, induction के sales आपको अगर पता होगा तो
हाइक पे आउट ऑफ स्टॉक है, Zepto पे नहीं है.
इंडक्शन
जोमेटो स्विगी का 40% मतलब रेवेन्यू कम हो गया है इस
बैंगलोर में कितने रेस्टोरेंट्स बंद हो गए.
मतलब रैंडम इंस्टाग्राम वीडियो देखा तो मैंने भी इस पे ज्यादा रिसर्च नहीं किया तो डोंट कोट मी ऑन दिस बट हाँ इस पे. लेकिन क्योंकि यार 3 स्टार रेस्टोरेंट्स इन बैंगलोर
गैस बचा के रख, बाद में मिलेगा.
हाँ अभी वही सबसे बड़ा हमारा चैलेंज ये है कि अभी एलपीजी खत्म हो चुका है हर वेंडर के पास. ठीक है, कोई बैकअप नहीं है. तो अभी हमने जैसे ही स्टार्ट किया वो बोल रहे हैं कि अभी ना आप हमारे एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स भी है तो अभी आप 10 ऑर्डर से ज्यादा एक टाइम पे मत देना क्योंकि हम हैंडल नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो बहुत गलत टाइम पे ये जैसे ही हम लॉन्च हमने किया ये आ गया. लेकिन वही बात है यार कि ये तो कभी भी हो सकता है.
बिजनेस
Yeah, you have zero control over it. You and I, all of us.
all of us, nobody can control anything apart from our dynamics.
But hopefully this will be a short-lived.
Absolutely.
So guys, like I just want to understand you that like I just if I'll give you 10 lakh rupees for growth, so where that amount you are going to invest and why?
So yeah, the business I am building is a distribution first business, and right now, whichever competitor is there in the market, they're online first. But the whole business, the nature of the business is such that your product has to be in 1 arm distance of your and my product is made with 86% millet, and it does not taste like a millet snack. So if I have 10 lakh rupees and I have to spend 10 lakh rupees, I'll actually spend that on, first thing would be on production of good quality videos which can create the awareness for the brand. Second, majority of it, 60% of that, I would try to use that in trade schemes so that I can get the product in the market as quickly as possible, because I am very sure about 2 products. I'm very sure about 2 SKUs where it has a very good demand and it's very healthy for you. It has 5.5 gram fibers and no fat, no sugar, baked, no palm oil. You name it, my product has it. We are selling this for what, $65, and normal millet snack which is there in the market, they sell it for $50. They have only 20% to 30% millets in it. Okay. So in the millet sector, this is a norm where at the back of the packet you have to write this contains only 35% millet, this contains only 20% millets. So now Kurkure came up with the Jawar Puff, and can you guess how much millet percentage they have?
No idea.
I'm a fitness freak, that's why I don't consume Kurkures and all.
So guys, I just want to let you know that this product which you are seeing here, this product is Karthik, and if you want to order, you can order from the link.
Okay, and to you.
If I was given 10 lakhs today, I would break it into 3 verticals. First of all, we're a tech product company. We don't necessarily have a lot of distribution expense like Karthik here.
Absolutely.
Different problem statements. I'll do a 70-20-10 split in percentages. 7 lakhs to my product, because ultimately everything that I do depends on how good my product and insights are. If as a D2C brand, if it has really helped you in managing your SKUs, ultimately managing better sales, getting your ROAS up to what mark you wanted to, you're gonna tell it to 10 other D2C founders, is what I've realized about this industry. And I don't really have a lot of distribution expense. So 70 would be like 7 lakhs would be tech within the product itself. We've already expanded on Blinkit. I can give you everything about how your product is listing and all of those things on Blinkit. We're currently trying to onboard a couple of data ingestion platforms for, like Instamart, Zepto. The next we have to get to Flipkart Minutes, Jio, Reliance's, the JioMart. Yeah. So these platforms we need to get on, and this is the biggest bottleneck we're looking at currently. We've already had commitments from a few brands. that are looking to take on our platform, given on the condition that at least we have 3 platforms that they're active on or 4 platforms that they're active on. And mapping out a platform and getting it on our platform is a challenge. It takes time. If I'm given that kind of money, 7 to 8 lakhs I'll dedicate only to my product. 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh only to my GTM, because I need to structure it better, do my calls, my follow-ups, my meetings, my reports, all of those better, and just another lakh or two in accounts management. So every client that we onboard, we need to make sure that every objective that they have is being over delivered by.
So अगर मेरे को 10 लाख मिलता है अभी, तो यार मेरे को तो सबसे ज़्यादा भी इम्पोर्टेंट लगता है लॉजिस्टिक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. तो मेरा वैसा ही स्प्लिट हो गया है, मतलब 70% मैं लॉजिस्टिक्स में डालूंगा, 30% मार्केटिंग में या फिर और चीज़ों पे, क्योंकि सबसे ज़रूरी तो लॉजिस्टिक्स है. अभी अगर देखा जाए तो हम क्या चाहते हैं कि किसी भी होम शेफ को अगर घर से अगर स्टार्ट करना है टिफिन सर्विस, तो उनके लिए इतना आसान हो जाए कि मतलब उनको उनकी एक्सपर्टीज है खाना बनाना, तो उसके अलावा उनको कुछ देखना ना पड़े. ठीक है, उनका मतलब सबसे बड़ा 2 चैलेंज है, नए कस्टमर्स ढूंढना जो हम ऐप से करेंगे, दूसरा कि सबसे जो जरूरी चीज़ है डिलीवरी. तो उसके लिए हमें अपना पूरा मतलब इन हाउस फ्लीट सेटअप करना पड़ेगा. एंड वो सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किल भी और सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा भी वही खाएगा. तो अभी अगर मेरे को 10 लाख मिलता है तो लॉजिस्टिक्स.
Here, how did you get your first customer? If I want to know from all of you, we'll start with you.
हमने अपने हॉस्टल में ही सबसे पहले स्टार्ट किया, क्योंकि मैं देख रहा था वहाँ पे मेस का खाना बहुत बेकार है. मैं खुद उसी हॉस्टल में रह रहा हूँ. 140 students are living there. Yeah. So we started there. किस्मत खराब है कि एलपीजी का इशू बस अभी हो गया. जैसे ही स्टार्ट किया वैसे ही, तो हम अभी उतना मार्केटिंग नहीं कर रहे, लेकिन एक बार सब में सारे वेंडर्स ने इंडक्शन ऑर्डर किया हुआ है. जैसे ही आ जाता है सबके पास, उसके बाद हम सबसे पहले तो मतलब हॉस्टल से स्टार्ट करेंगे. तो वहाँ पे अभी मतलब एक टाइम का मतलब अगर सिर्फ डिनर का मान ले तो अभी 8-9 ऑर्डर रोज आ जा रहा है. कब अगर मैं अपना हटा दूं तो मतलब ऐसे रोज 12 ऑर्डर होता है, जिसमें से 2 मेरा ही होता है. तो इससे ज्यादा भी मैं दे नहीं सकता. भाई मैं सही बता रहा हूँ कि मैं इससे पहले लॉन्च करने से पहले मैं ऑर्डर करके खा रहा था. मैं एक तो देखना भी चाहता, मेस का खाना मैंने मतलब अनसब्सक्राइब कर दिया, और मैं देखना भी चाहता था कि महीने में कितना खर्चा हो जाता है. तो ऑलमोस्ट 22,000 मेरा खर्चा हो जा रहा था. 2 टाइम मैं स्विगी जोमेटो से ऑर्डर कर रहा था. 2 बार मेरे को फूड पॉइजनिंग हो गया 2 महीने में. ठीक है, तो मेरे लिए जल्दी स्टार्ट करना मजबूरी थी, मेरे को खुद के लिए भी चाहिए.
Okay.
To you.
So for me, that's a good story. We were not sure of launching the product. So in campus only, Unmute was happening. And we were not prepared. Like we had the product, and I was like, no. As I said, ki I'll perfect the product, I'll perfect the packaging, then I'll go. Yeah. Then somewhere at night only, I thought, ki, as I said, I'm an overthinker at night. So at night only, I thought, if I'm not testing the product only, what's the use of good packaging? So now I like decided, okay, hired a designer right on spot. I had 5 days of time left to get all these things in. 5 दिन में 20,000 रुपए लिया उस डिजाइनर ने, घटिया डिजाइनिंग की. एंड आई वाज लाइक चलो ठीक है, जैसा भी है देखा जाएगा. सो वी केप्ट द प्रोडक्ट देयर. देन 1 घंटे 2 घंटे आगे ज्यादा सेल्स हो नहीं रहे. मैं प्रिपेयर्ड था फॉर द वर्स्ट. नहीं चला, कोई बात नहीं, दूसरी चीजों में देखेंगे, दिमाग लगाएंगे. After 1 hour, crowd started coming. They started asking questions, and then something surprisingly happened. Was मैं खाली 100 पैकेट लाया था that day, and then all of that got sold out, and I was 6 hours left. For 6 to 5 hours left for that event to get over, and I'm like, okay, fine. Then from my mom dad were here, so I called them and I'm like, आपको वापस भरना पड़ेगा. So my mom and dad are filling the packets with their own hand, packing everything right there. Then I told them to send me 200 packets right there. We sold almost 300 packets on that day. That's why I understood कि product तो अच्छा है.
Oh wow.
Product में कोई problem है नहीं. Packaging में हम मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. That's why I understood कि ठीक है, I can actually build this thing in a way, and somewhere down the line I do have distribution network and I understand distribution very well, and है थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा लगता है marketing में काम करना. It's good, it's a very good brain exercise, it's very fun. So I was like, no, I'll build this thing, and it's very healthy for you. That is the biggest plus point. People kept coming back because they were like, they're consuming something which is very healthy. 86% millet is very hard to get in a good quality product. that was our moat, and then we tried to build on it more and more. So yeah.
Over to you. Yeah, B2B product is a different dynamics. I know the struggle. I know the reality.
First, me and my founder decided that, okay, this is a problem statement we're going with. We did our market research. Some people said that, okay, this is a headache for me. I might be willing to pay something for this. We had no idea what they were going to pay or even if they were going to pay. But that was all the conviction we needed. Ki, oh, this is a headache for me. Perfect. We're going to build a product. Now on VIP's, I think pre-seed day, up until then, we had a very, very scrappy MVP. Like half of it was not working. And now I can be honest about it since our product has evolved. But we had a very scrappy MVP and we presented it to a lot of people. Most of them said that, yeah, good problem. I'm not buying. Now our challenge was to find our ICP and reach out to them. What we did was we did a comprehensive analysis of हमारे strength में क्या है, what we can build upon, and what came out of it was we have cohort 1 to cohort 6 of people out of MU. I think all in all there were 1,000 to 1,100 people who had graduated out of here. What we did was we built a database of everyone that has graduated out of Masters Union. Then we filtered them basis if they've worked around D2C ecosystems or not. Then if they worked around D2C companies or marketing companies, because if you're a marketing company, you essentially have a say in how D2C is managing their marketing, right? We filtered these both and then we started reaching out to all of them. Hey, we're from the same college. We're trying to build this product. I'm begging you to get me on a call with your co-founder for 5 minutes. If you give me 5 minutes of a discovery call, I am telling you it will not seem like a non-value add, not net non-value add. And we tried to muster up a couple of insights for their business before the call. Within 5 minutes, I tried to convince them that, hey, this is what we're doing. We got 3 kinds of responses. Either this is not a relevant problem to us. Second, we're already using your competitor. Third, when is your product getting ready? Now the third kind, we obviously had a separate set for them.
Yeah,
and initially now currently what we have is 3 brands have agreed to onboard with us as soon as we have like the 3 platforms I mentioned. And also we have 2 marketing agencies who are basically helping their portfolio companies. So as a marketing agency, I have multiple D2C brands. They are helping their portfolio companies operate better on quick commerce. So apne sare portfolio companies. Yeah, it was a very it took 3 months to get to a first intentful customer for us.
Yeah, B2B business is quite tough because when I was building Brainstorm, it was Rotex right now. So the thing is that I approached my friend first. भाई यार मेरा product है तू ले ले and we'll start with your brand and everything. He was like, bro, absolutely fine. I will take your product. We're gonna launch this in this Mumbai, Rajasthan, Gujarat. I think great market. We'll expand it here. I was like, okay, so everything is done. And I was like, bro, payment credit kar le, so we'll start with it. We've already spoken to multiple retailers and wholesalers out there. So it's like, yeah, everything is done, but for payment, you have to come to and talk to my dad. I was like, okay, you must have discussed about with your dad and everything. So I went to his father and I was like, hi uncle, everything. So he was like, हाँ बेटा क्या हुआ क्यों आए उधर मतलब सर you like he must have discussed with you about our product and all बोलते नहीं क्या करना है क्या पैसा चाहिए क्यों चाहिए so we have to discuss again with him.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
14 to 15 days
multiple
more.
Because if I
just
talk
to
about
get them
that
interested in your product.
B2B product, no, so it's the ticket size is very heavy.
Yeah.
So because of which it takes a lots of time to onboard one client.
And I think B2B founders have a mindset कि यार मुझे भी पता है भाई तू मुझे क्या करना सिखा देगा भाई मैंने भी तो इतने टाइम से धंधा ही बनाया है.
Which they're not wrong about.
Yeah.
If someone has been selling in their category for the past 10 years, they know much more than you will. What I tend to tell them is कि you definitely know much better about the category than I do. I'm just better at collecting and giving insights out of that data. What needs to be done with those insights is definitely you. Because you have been in touch with your business for the past decade. I don't know how your unit economics work.
Absolutely.
But I can give you exact insights on how you can optimize for this platform. Using it, how and what, by and when is definitely the founders. They know much better than what we do.
Adding to this discussion, I wanted to say one thing is that here the problems comes from the Indian culture. USA के अंदर ये नहीं चलता. USA के अंदर if you have a product, B2B product, they'll actually pay for it and then take it.
Selling SaaS in India is much more difficult. It's incrementally more difficult.
Everything India के अंदर ट्रायल बेसिस पे होना चाहिए. भाई तेरा खरीदना है मुझे मेरे को दे दे. 10 दिन 15 दिन के लिए दे दे मुझे छोड़ दे मेरे को देखने दे. उसके बाद मैं डिसाइड करूंगा. प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लग रहा है उसके बाद
People are not deciding.
No. Willingness to pay for software in India has been generally
That's why people are doing the 14 days trial.
Absolutely.
सॉफ्टवेयर के अंदर और डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है सॉफ्टवेयर के अंदर पे करवाना उनको तो 1 महीने का फ्री ट्रायल दो 1.5
generally from what I've heard from founders is
यूज करवा उसके बाद देखेंगे
they would rather hire an in-house tech talent than take software from outside from you, which is much more cheaper for them.
की आदत नहीं है ना, मतलब कि हमें क्रैक इतनी आसानी से मिल जाता है, ठीक है। मैंने भी जब अपना फर्स्ट बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया था कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में, तो मैंने बस होस्टिंग के लिए पे किया था, ठीक है। वर्डप्रेस पे ही पूरा वेबसाइट सेटअप किया था, डिजिटल प्रोडक्ट सेल कर रहा था, तो मेरे को लॉजिस्टिक्स वगैरह डिलीवरी वगैरह कुछ मैनेज करना नहीं पड़ रहा था। मैंने भी सारे क्रैक एप्स, मतलब क्रैक प्लगइन्स थीम्स पहले डाउनलोड किए, उसी से स्टार्ट किया, मतलब सिर्फ होस्टिंग का पैसा। तो इंडिया में लोगों को आदत ही नहीं है, क्योंकि हम स्टार्टिंग से फोटोशॉप अभी भी कितने लोग खरीदते होंगे अगर यूज कर रहे हैं तो सारे सबके पास क्रैक। हाँ तो
majority of the softwares are built in India but they are sold outside India
3.5 साल में मेरे को एक भी इंडियन कस्टमर नहीं मिला। मेरे को इंडियन कस्टमर्स मेरे को मैसेज करते थे कि भाई मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ, मेरे को मिल जाएगा क्या लाइसेंस, फ्री में मिल जाएगा क्या 1 साल का। हाँ, तो इंडियन नहीं खरीदेगा बहुत मुश्किल है। बिजनेसेस को बेचना फिर भी आसान है, लेकिन कस्टमर्स को बेचना और मुश्किल।
Only successful SaaS companies out of India have been selling their products in US.
that is the
So
fact.
The only thing is Tally. Tally is the only successful SaaS company in India.
So there've been multiple.
Like Tally is the
few of them have listed on NYSE.
Odoo is like, okay, he's built in India, but it's not from an Indian founder. Odoo's founder is not an Indian
their
founder.
entire TG is based in States, UK, and some of the Gulf countries. Because the ticket size here again, we're not willing to pay.
Like I went to Chandni Chowk and I realized that वहाँ भी तो Tally के versions मिलते हैं ना, वो हमारे Tally के versions है ही नहीं. Literally, I've been practicing in Mumbai and I realized Chandni Chowk में अलग Tally चल रहा है.
Tally as a software is extremely customizable. देखो जैसा चाहिए वैसा बना के दूंगा मैं. That is the best part about Tally.
So, like, just go. Let's talk about that. What does it mean by cost versus margin structures look like in your company? So, like, suppose your cost, suppose whatever the product you are selling right now. So, how you are deciding your
The pricing strategy, that
and-
how much you are building and how much you are selling, what will be the margin for your profit margin, your unit economics kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll start with you, Karthik.
Yeah, very frankly, in my category, the most basic idea is that how are you positioning your product? So there is a kettle chips and then there is a Lay's chips. Kettle chips has always positioned themselves as a premium product. Okay, so now kettle chips sells for what, $100, $120, $130. People pay for it. Now I am positioning somewhere in between. It has to be affordable, premium के बीच वाला जो zone होता है ना, जहाँ पर I am giving you extra benefits, but I know if I increase the price of it lot, customers चले जाएंगे या customers कम हो जाएंगे. So it's there in the middle, and then it's all about finding a white space or where you can settle your product very well, so that you can cater to your ICP the most effective manner. So that is how I decided on it. It's all competitor analysis. Yeah, you go through the competitors' products. So what is selling, that you have to take into consideration. I cannot come and say 300 रुपए का chips बेचूंगा मैं. नहीं बिकेगा.
नहीं बिकेगा.
तो वो देखना ही पड़ता है. That is how we actually majority of the founders before building any product actually they think कि भाई इसको बेचना कितने में पड़ सकता है, क्या प्रोडक्ट है और कितने में मार्केट में अभी ये बिक रहा है. So that is how we decided on the pricing of this thing. And
What is the average price of your product, if I'll ask?
Average price of my product is legit बताओ तो 50 rupees है.
Okay.
And right now I'm selling for 65. मेरे को प्राइस ट्राई करना है कि इसको मैं और अच्छे से पोजीशन कर सकूं या और अच्छे से प्राइसिंग बढ़ा सकूं या कम कर सकूं अकॉर्डिंग टू हाउ आई मेक इट, बट दैट कैन आल्सो चेंज as I said. But average price is 50 and everything else has been reverse engineers taking that into consideration. अगर मेरे को भाव में नहीं बैठ रहा है ये बिजनेस ही नहीं है.
And what's your hero product out of all?
Yeah, right now, two products sells the most, and caramel is something which people who like caramel flavor, they'll pay $100 for it.
Mostly girls.
Yeah, no questions asked. And if they don't like it, many people don't like caramel. They're like, खराब है. Pudina and peri peri sells consistently.
Yeah.
Consistently, and people consume it with their whole heart. They like consuming that. So that's
He's
how
talking
it is.
about me.
No, I also embrace Pudina only. Like I love the Pudina flavor.
I love the Pudina, the peri peri, and honestly, I like the caramel.
So do you?
Yeah. So first off, we looked at how big our market is. Like how many brands we can cater to. If we were like the product in the world that is solving best for quick commerce, what's the TAM looking at there? Significantly, what we realized was Blinkit, Instamart, and Zepto, if we're looking at companies with a meaningful scale that would be willing to invest in a tech product to manage their B2C
Yeah,
brand,
obviously.
is a very smaller universe. Now these numbers would obviously vary from the real numbers, but these are all estimates from us. 6,000 to 7,000 is the total brands we're looking at who are actively doing selling on quick commerce. Out of them, brands would be willingly, seriously able to pay for a SaaS platform to operate better on quick commerce is much less. That looked at 2,000 brands for us. Now we wanted to expand that market horizon. So what our competition is primarily doing is they are only targeting these 1,500 to 2,000 brands at a price point of 75,000 rupees a month to 1,20,000 rupees a month. We wanted to increase that, your ideal customer, your ICP, from that 1,500, 2,000 brands to pulling it down to 3,000, 3,500 brands, because we want to cater to them as well. These are the growing companies. So what we did was we're positioning ourselves below that price, but with some added benefits, and how our product is evolving, we're going to be matching and even surpassing those price points, because ultimately the goal here is to build agentic platforms that are going to execute these decisions on your behalf with just a single click. Now we've figured out our data ingestion, we've figured out what those insights can do for the brand. Our next level would be to figure out how to do this autonomously. And once we get to that, we can price it above 1 lakh as well. Currently, what we're doing is we're pricing it north of 50 to 60,000 rupees a month, depending on how many SKUs and how many locations you want it for. But we genuinely want you to reap out the ROI, the brands to reap out the ROI from the product. Once we start seeing that happening with a conviction of, hey, we're helping them, let's say, sell 5-10 lakh rupees of goods more a month and saving them a lakh or two on marketing spend, we can definitely charge higher from there, because that is the value we're creating for them. So for now, our objective is to try and create the maximum value possible for the people who are trusting us with our product. Once we see the scale of that value, we'll be able to position ourselves better.
यार जैसे बताया मैंने, यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स अपना मतलब उसी हिसाब से देखा था कि अभी स्विगी जोमेटो पे जो होम कुक मील्स का प्राइस है वो कितना है, और हम मतलब और विलिंगनेस टू पे यहाँ पे कितना है, क्योंकि इस अभी बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे एप्स हैं जैसे बिंटो बॉक्स. मेरे को जब मार्केट रिसर्च कर रहा था या फिर जीटीएम के टाइम भी, तो उस टाइम पे मेरे को पता चला कि बहुत छोटे छोटे प्लेयर्स हैं लेकिन सारे ऑन डिमांड डिलीवरी कर रहे हैं. बेसिकली कॉस्ट बहुत ज्यादा जा रहा है उनका. तो हम कॉस्ट तभी कम कर सकते हैं जब मतलब हम बल्क ऑर्डर्स डिलीवर कर रहे हैं, तो उस हिसाब से या बिकॉज वी आर फोकसिंग मोर ऑन सब्सक्रिप्शन. तो अगर सब्सक्रिप्शन होगा तो क्या होगा कि हमें पता होगा कि एक रूट में ही मतलब अगर बहुत सारे लोग सब्सक्राइब कर रहे हैं तो पता होगा कि एक रूट पे मतलब रोज उसी मतलब कस्टमर्स को जाके डिलीवर करना होता है, तो सेम डिलीवरी वाला होगा, सेम रास्ते से जा रहा होगा, तो हम इस चीज को ऑप्टिमाइज करेंगे ज्यादा से ज्यादा. और जितना ज्यादा हम मतलब लॉजिस्टिक्स को ऑप्टिमाइज करेंगे, और जितना ज्यादा हम डेंसिटी हिट करेंगे, उतना ज्यादा मतलब प्रॉफिट.
विशाल भाई, ट्रायल पैक देते हो? ट्रायल पैक देते हो?
हाँ, अच्छा, मैंने ट्रायल के बारे में नहीं बताया क्या? अच्छा, अरे हाँ तो हम मतलब हमारे ऐप में ट्रायल का फीचर तो है ही. आप एक अभी जो फीचर है कि आप हर वेंडर को एक बार ट्राई कर लो, ठीक है? तो मतलब आप ट्रायल ले सकते हो. उसमें हम मतलब आपको ऐसा नहीं है फ्री ट्रायल होगा, क्योंकि मील का मतलब कॉस्ट तो लग रहा है, तो लेकिन आप ट्राई कर सकते हो. जैसे बिना सब्सक्रिप्शन का कमिटमेंट के आप 2-3 मील ट्राई कर लो. आप एक वेंडर से ट्राई करो, उसका नहीं पसंद आ रहा है दूसरे वेंडर से ट्राई करो, या फिर हम एक और नया फीचर बना रहे जिसमें आप मल्टीपल वेंडर्स को ट्राई कर सकते हो. और हाँ, तो एक साथ मल्टीपल वेंडर्स को, आपके पास एक दिन में ही टाइम है कि आप ब्रेकफास्ट लंच डिनर तीनों आप अलग अलग वेंडर से मंगवा लो. हाँ.
And you are a veg brand or a like non-veg?
नहीं, वी आर एन एग्रीगेटर प्लेटफॉर्म. तो हम मतलब हर तरह के वेंडर्स होंगे, वेज होंगे, नॉन वेज होंगे. आप मैं धीरे धीरे टूना पीट्स जैसा मतलब
हेल्दी ईटिंग,
वैरायटी, मतलब मैं चाहता हूँ कि वैरायटी. और हम चाहते हैं कि जैसे आप हमारे ऐप में एक फीचर है कि आप मील प्लान आप कस्टमाइज कर सकते हो, वीकली मील प्लान, है ना? तो आप मतलब ऐसा भी कर सकते हो कि आप ब्रेकफास्ट किसी और वेंडर से लो, डिनर किसी और वेंडर से लो, लंच किसी और वेंडर से लो. आप वीकली प्लान सेट कर लो, और ये जो वीकली प्लान होगा ये आपका रिपीट होता रहेगा. और सब्सक्रिप्शन में हमें मार्केट रिसर्च में पता चला कि मतलब ऐसे ये तो पता था कि सब्सक्रिप्शन जो है इंडिया में काम नहीं करता है बहुत अच्छे से, ठीक है? नेटफ्लिक्स को भी प्राइस इतना कम करना पड़ा, ठीक है? हाँ, तो सब्सक्रिप्शन की आदत इसलिए नहीं है लोगों को क्योंकि मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि उनके पास पैसे नहीं है देने को या फिर, लेकिन फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी नहीं है। ठीक है, एक तो ये डर लगता है कि मतलब अपने आप ही डेबिट हो जाएगा अकाउंट से। ठीक है, उसका तो डर लगता ही है।
भाई सही में
Happened with me a couple of times.
कैन आप
वो रोज रोज पेमेंट करेंगे, वो उनको टाइम लगाएंगे, लेकिन जैसे न्यूज़पेपर के लिए भी वो रोज बहुत सारे कस्टमर्स हैं जो रोज पे कर रहे हैं लेकिन वो मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं ले रहे हैं। ठीक है, या फिर वो हाँ उसमें भी ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल है कि चलो हम वन टाइम पेमेंट कर देंगे 1 मंथ का, लेकिन ऑटो डेबिट नहीं होना चाहिए। ठीक है, तो उसके लिए मतलब हम मतलब वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दे रहे हैं, ये तो दे रहे हैं कि हाँ चलो अब बार बार आप मतलब ये पीरियड खत्म हो गया, नेक्स्ट पीरियड के लिए आप फिर से पे कर दो। अगर कोई ऑटो पे में इंटरेस्टेड है तो वो कर सकता है। दूसरा कि हाँ मतलब सब्सक्रिप्शन में फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी चाहिए लोगों को। जैसे अब फूड में क्या होता है कि अगर मैंने सब्सक्राइब कर लिया लेकिन आज रात का डिनर, अब मेस में क्या होता है कि अगर आप नहीं गए तो आपको नहीं मिलेगा खाना, आप टाइम से नहीं पहुंचे आपको नहीं मिलेगा, आपको बाहर जाना है दोस्तों के साथ तो आप मतलब पैसे आपको वापस नहीं मिलने वाले वो चीज। तो लेकिन हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऐसे दे रहे हैं कि पॉज और स्किप का फीचर है कि आज आपको स्किप करना है मील तो आप आज का स्किप कर दो। लिमिटेड मतलब ऐसा अनलिमिटेड स्किप नहीं होगा लेकिन लिमिटेड स्किप्स होंगे। उसमें क्या होगा कि आप मतलब 140 का अगर मील है आपने स्किप कर दिया तो 140 आप क्रेडिट आ जाएगा, नेक्स्ट पीरियड का जब पे करोगे तो डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा। तो और फिर पॉज का फीचर है कि आपको 1 वीक के लिए घर जाना है, क्योंकि हमारे ज्यादातर टारगेट यूजर्स है जो घर से दूर रह रहे हैं। तो हाँ, तो 1 वीक के लिए घर जाना है वो पॉज कर दे, है ना। हाँ,
Great
तो
user insight.
हाँ तो वही है। हम मतलब मार्केट रिसर्च पे ये पता चला कि सब्सक्रिप्शन से डर नहीं लगता है, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी नहीं है उस चीज से डर लगता है। तो हाँ,
Fair.
Let's move to the last question. So, if the giant player enter into your exact model, so how you are going to handle that?
So I'll start. So when it comes to my category, it is a very difficult category to build on. I have to agree there. But now there is a fundamental shift happening when it comes to selling, which very few people understand, and giants will never understand. Giants are not trying to sell; they have distribution already.
Yeah.
So right now, if you notice, Nike shoes are not selling as much. If you have read those things.
No,
Gully
I know.
Labs,
I read it.
Gully Labs, Comet, all these things are killing it in the shoe market. There's a fundamental shift happening. It's
I'm
not
wearing a
because
Comet.
it's not because they are not good. It's because people now connect with stories, connect with you need to give them a good content where they relate to. So for us, we are not trying to sell a snacking brand. It's very healthy. I have to say it's better than what's there in the market. I can shout it out and say that please compete if you want to compete on the healthy mix. But I am not selling it as a healthy category. I am trying to sell the night culture which happens after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Those are the category. Those are the kind of people I want to consume first. Like that is my target audience where I know that is the time where you are alone with yourself. So you call it night owls hote hain, unko night owls bolte hain. And they are the people who are actually awake and consuming snacks most of the time. In Blinkit report, if you see, majority of the orders which are happening is after 10 p.m. Still, no other brand is trying to build something which actually supports what you eat during that time. Your body metabolism जो होता है आपका functions very differently at night.
yeah.
एंड आपको उसके अकॉर्डिंगली कंज्यूम करना पड़ेगा और उससे आपका फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हंगर भी मिटना चाहिए, आपका टेस्ट क्रेविंग भी मिटना चाहिए, एंड देन आपका मॉर्निंग्स बेटर फील होना चाहिए. अगर आप मॉर्निंग्स को ये खाने के बाद बेटर फील कर रहे हो, देन आई थिंक आई हैव अ गुड प्रोडक्ट, एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू गेट. दैट इट हैज बीन इंजीनियर्ड थिंकिंग दैट इन माइंड. अब आगे वो रेप्लिकेट कर लेंगे या घुस जाएंगे तो यार मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली समथिंग व्हिच आई हैव व्हिच दे कांट इज द स्टोरी टेलिंग स्किल्स. And they will never target the consumers I am targeting. For them, it's a small target. Yeah. They want to become a mass brand, but with mass comes what do you call? You feel less connected to the brand. I shout about Gully Labs के जूते हैं, not Nike के जूते. अब हो गया वो monetize हो गया. 4,000 5,000
I agree.
मिलने लग गए. फर्क नहीं पड़ता, वो status वाला symbol ही नहीं रहा.
Absolutely agree. यार Nike का I just mentioned one thing. I was the guy who posted a tweet and LinkedIn post about Nike. That Nike, I've been invested in Nike since 2 to 3 years. I bought it around $60 or something, and it's still there, $60. And one of my friends, he invested in Nike shoes, and he sold it to the second-hand market and he made more money than me. And I was like, what's the business model is this? I'm the investor at Nike. I'm not that profitable. My friend buys shoes and sold it offline. He made more money. That's insane. Like different trajectory of different businesses. Absolutely. And
So if you ask me what the ultimate version of Reflow AI is going to look like, I'm going to tell you that for any D2C company to manage how they look to customers, how they advertise to customers, how they appear to customers, where their stock is, all of that, I think for every channel that they go for, quick commerce, e-commerce, their own D2C website, for everything they need a single platform where everything is managed. Let's say as a brand, मेरे पास advertisement का ultimately budget तो 5 लाख ही है. मैं Blinkit को दूं, Zepto को दूं, या फिर अपने वेबसाइट पे डालूं, या फिर Meta ads पे चलाऊं. Ultimately, that is the universe of the money that I have for that kind of specific problem. Now I need to optimize कि यार Blinkit पे मेरा better ROAS आता है, या Zepto पे आता है, या मेरे वेबसाइट पे आता है, या फिर मेरा ऑफलाइन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में आता है. करेक्ट. तो my ultimate version of this platform is going to be कि you have to, as a business, these are all just distribution legs, and as a core business proposition, you're going to have to be willing to take all of these decisions without data sets. My entire value proposition is that you can make very informed decisions, and that is how you can transform your business from there. We have started with quick commerce because it is very simple. Precedence for these kind of businesses already exists. When there was Amazon, there was also a company called Helium. I don't know if you all know about it. They do very similar stuff for Amazon related marketplaces and D2C brands. But now the game is Amazon is like 2 decades old. It's not a startup anymore. It's an institution. Blinkit, Instamart, Zepto, these have all established their footing in the last half a decade, I would say. So there's no lot of competition here. There is still meaningful competition, and from how I see the product and the space differently is, I am not going to be, or Reflow is not going to be a data first company or a tech first company. We're going to be a intelligence first company. Basically, you're going to, based on how you've taken decisions before and how the market is performing in your category specifically, our ultimate game is to tell you decisions on what you can take. This is the stock, this is where you should advertise, this is where you should take your money out of, this is where you should take your stock out of. And that differentiation is what I haven't seen in the market yet. And since the autonomous agentic systems have been recently more democratized than ever before, I think companies are starting to move towards that. But then the difference that we bring there is we're a very lean team. We can ship out features much faster, and our feedback loop is much shorter. I can ship out a feature 2 days from now. If it not works, I can change it within the next 3 days. If we were a 100 people organization, this process would have taken us a month. Yeah. So again, betting on how the product is going to be differentiated first, and embedding ourselves into the D2C ecosystem, and how we're different from them is how we think about the product radically different than most of what our competition is doing currently. I haven't seen that yet. I would love to, but not yet.
Oh, perfect.
So, I mean, if a big player like Zomato and Swiggy tries to copy, and they have actually tried it, right? Zomato and Swiggy both, Swiggy daily and Zomato every day, right? But if they try, what I can do is build better relationships with my vendors, my home chefs, and actually the thing is that all the big players, they are busy fighting a 10-minute delivery war right now, and big players are entering. So what I want is they keep fighting the war, और मैं पीछे से expand कर लूँ जितना मेरे को करना है, क्योंकि यार एक बार वो उन लोगों की नजर पड़ी कि हाँ अगर ऐसे करें तो, क्योंकि इससे पहले उनको दिक्कत क्या हो रही थी, स्विगी और जोमेटो दोनों ने ट्राई किया, दोनों का अपना क्लाउड किचन था, ठीक है, तो उनको अगर एक्सपैंड करना है, एक तो एसेट हैवी हो गया, वो उन्होंने होम शेफ को हायर किया था, ठीक है, वो हायर किया था होम शेफ को, उनका जो रेसिपी था उसको स्टैंडर्डाइज किया, लेकिन उनको कहीं भी नई जगह पे एक्सपैंड करना होता था तो दे हैड टू बिल्ड अ न्यू क्लाउड किचन, तो एसेट हैवी हो गया ये सब, तो लेकिन उनको अगर पता चलेगा कि हाँ चलो ऐसे होम शेफ्स को कनेक्ट करके भी किया जा सकता है, और अगर हमारा चल गया, कॉपी करने का ट्राई किया, तो यार इतने बड़े बड़े प्लेयर है कि कुछ कर तो नहीं सकता है, बस हम ये कर सकते हैं कि हमारे वेंडर्स के साथ बहुत बढ़िया रिलेशनशिप बना के हम रखें, उनको हम फायदा दे, मतलब उनका मतलब हाँ उनका बिजनेस बढ़ाए, तो हमारा बहुत बड़ा फोकस वेंडर्स के तरफ है। कस्टमर्स तो यार ऐसा है कि उनको कल कोई और प्लेटफॉर्म आएगा,
better prices, better quality के साथ we're gonna switch. We all do that as customer.
तो वेंडर जैसे बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो हम वेंडर के लिए इजी कर रहे हैं, जैसे पैकेजिंग मटेरियल है, तो उनको अगर कोई एक वेंडर स्टार्ट कर रहा है तो उसको ना मतलब कम से कम 5,000 पीस खरीदना पड़ेगा, तो एक उनको मतलब 19 रुपीज का एक पैकेज मतलब एक कंटेनर पड़ेगा, है ना। यूज एंड थ्रो कंटेनर जो होता है प्लास्टिक वाला या फिर पेपर वाला और महंगा होगा, तो पेपर वाला वो लोग सोच नहीं कर पाते क्योंकि बहुत महंगा पड़ता है, उनको 5,000 पीसेस एक बार खरीदना होता है और इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा उनके लिए। लेकिन हम कर सकते हैं ये चीज क्योंकि हमारे पास मल्टीपल वेंडर्स हैं, तो हम बल्क में ले सकते हैं और प्राइस कम करवा सकते हैं और उनको दे सकते हैं कॉस्ट टू कॉस्ट। तो ये सब कुछ चीजें हैं और ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जिससे हम सोच रहे हैं कि वेंडर्स को कैसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा फायदा मतलब उनका बिजनेस कैसे बढ़ाया जा सके। तो इस चीज पे हम काम कर रहे हैं और यही है यार। अभी तो मतलब अगर कोई बड़ा प्लेयर एंटर करता है इस मार्केट में तो हमने एग्जांपल्स देखे हैं, इंस्टामार्ट ब्लिंकिट दोनों को खरीद लिया, तो उस पे ज्यादा कुछ किया नहीं जा सकता इसके अलावा।
Zepto also launches like Zepto Cafe something.
इससे रिलेटेड मेरे पास भी एक क्वेश्चन है, मैं चाहूंगा कि सब लोग मतलब मेरे को थोड़ा सजेशन भी चाहिए इसमें। और तुम अगर शार्क टैंक पे जाने का मौका मिले इस टाइम पे तो भाई मतलब तेरा जो बिजनेस है तेरे लिए तो परफेक्ट है ना, मतलब बहुत अच्छी मार्केटिंग हो जाएगी और तेरे को पहले से रेडी रहना पड़ेगा कि मतलब बहुत सारे ऑर्डर्स आने वाले हैं तुम। लेकिन जैसे मेरा बिजनेस है अभी क्या है कि अगर मैं शार्क टैंक पे जाता हूँ तो पूरे इंडिया में देखेंगे लेकिन स्टार्ट हुआ है सिर्फ गुड़गांव में, है ना।
Your demand fulfillment can only be hyper local at this.
एग्जैक्टली हाँ। और दूसरा कि बड़े बड़े प्लेयर्स को पता भी चल जाएगा कि हाँ कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है। अगर मान लो अभी नहीं, मैं 1 साल बाद जाता हूँ जब गुड़गांव में मैं एक्सपैंड कर चुका हूँ मान लो, और तब जाता हूँ, अगर जोमेटो स्विगी को पता चल जाता है कि अच्छा ये इतना बड़े, अगर ध्यान नहीं भी आया उसके बाद इतना मतलब शार्क टैंक पे दिखा रहा है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? अगर मेरे सिचुएशन में हो गए तो तुम लोग शार्क टैंक।
Very frankly, I think going into a Shark Tank is a very big achievement. But before going to Shark Tank, you gotta be sure that you have your loyal customers already. So if you
You have your
don't
PMF
have,
basically, same thing.
if you don't have that kind of loyal customers with whom you can talk to or take feedback on a daily basis, going there, pitching your product is not gonna matter. ठीक है, आपको मतलब आपको एक बार के लिए थोड़ा सा पुश मिल जाएगा,
Awareness campaign.
मतलब बट वो जो आपको स्पाइक आता है ना सेल्स में, वो सस्टेन तब होता है जब आपको पता है कि हाँ मैं ये बिल्ड कर रहा हूँ, मेरे कस्टमर्स को ये चाहिए, सब चीज। सो फॉर मी आल्सो इफ यू आस्क मी आई हैव टू गो टू शार्क टैंक, आई से नो, आई विल रादर बिल्ड इट ऑर्गेनिकली, get conviction that yes I have done something good, I'll get my loyal customers first. That would be the most important thing for me. Once I have done that, there I have at a stage where okay now I can say that I am ready to go into Shark Tank with this product and handle the discussion heat which is gonna be there. Then I'll go there and then I can छाती फाड़ के बोल सकता हूँ कि सर ऐसा हुआ है, हमारे customers ने आके मुझे बोला है ये सब. So that is the thing I support. And more than that, Shark Tank is only relevant when you have that kind of an infrastructure to support that. So many brands have went there, spike आया, working capital नहीं support करने के लिए. So that is also a very big problem, yeah. So lot of to and fro happens before that, yeah.
So true. Like what you are saying is so true. Like the same thing the Yash Kalra has also did. First he has built the brand loyalty, and then he went on the Shark Tank, and then he pitched, and suddenly boom happened in his.
I mean, going after once you've made it to your product market fit and you have conviction that these certain number of users, whatever that might be for the kind of business you're in, are loyal to me and they face this problem regularly and this is the kind of offering if I'm giving to them, it's a really great solution for them and the delta for switching would be much higher there. If you go from this stage on like a platform where you can announce it to the entire nation as a whole which is viewing that show, then what happens is the kind of benefits that you can reap out of it start coming into play only once you've achieved your product market fit, is what I believe. I'm not sure, it could be different, but you cannot go there with before your PMF and your validation and expect the kind of benefits you want to reap out of it to come into picture, because you don't have the infrastructure to support that kind of visibility, that kind of demand, or that kind of investor as well. Because if you're going there, ultimately one of your objective also might be to get an investor. Before making that decision, I would think that you should get your product market fit first, because once you know that, then you will know exactly what kind of capital and what kind of venture backers you would need for your venture.
Going there without revenue is you are inviting VCs to come eat you up. So
Yeah.
they are in the business of making money. If you don't have good revenue or good PMF,
Sharks
they'll come
for a
and eat
reason.
40%
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
company. So
No, absolutely agree with all of your point. And I think if you want to expand to first capture Gurgaon, to capture Gurgaon, I don't think so that you need Shark Tank or any promotion or something.
Yeah.
Once you're done with Gurgaon, then restructure and rethink about that. Let me go to NCR and Delhi. That will be the right time for you to go to Shark Tank because you are already covered with one city and right now you are looking to expand to other cities. And you already have a backend that, okay, I have my loyal customers. Whatever happens, whatever fuck happens outside of it, but I do have my customers.
Yeah.
And for specifically ideas like what we are trying to build, we're not building new categories altogether. है ना? So what an investor really loves to see is validation, great numbers, and bootstrapped till now. You haven't raised any fund and yet you were able to sustain this. Now it makes sense to bring in more money out from outside and scale this to the next level. But every VC would love to see a business that has done a certain revenue without taking on external capital and they have very strong product market fit. If you have that, you don't, even if the 4 sharks on the tank don't necessarily subscribe to your idea, you would definitely be approached by a VC.
Yeah, definitely. Outside of Shark Tank, you will definitely approach by someone.
The main thing is for me is and Billy Box की यार हमें ना बहुत लीन चलना है मतलब पहले हम गुड़गांव में देखना चाहते हैं खुद भी क्योंकि इससे पहले मतलब चल वो कुकर तो है उधर चेन्नई में यहाँ पे अभी तक नॉर्थ में कोई वैसा बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है तो हमें भी बहुत लीन चलना है मतलब अगर मैं जाता हूँ शार्क टैंक में मेरे को इन्वेस्टर से फंडिंग में मिल जाती है लेकिन फिर वो प्रेशर आ जाएगा कि अब स्केल कर जल्दी स्केल कर ठीक है और जितने मैंने जितना रिसर्च किया है जितने बिजनेसेस अभी फेल हुए हैं मैं पहला नहीं हूँ जो ये ट्राई कर रहा है बहुत सारे बिजनेसेस बड़े बिजनेसेस ने ट्राई किया ये बहुत बड़ा रीजन है कि अचानक से बहुत फंडिंग मिली होम फूडी नोएडा से स्टार्ट हुआ था उसको वो बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा था अचानक से बहुत ज्यादा फंडिंग मिली उसने बोला कि चलो एक साथ मल्टीपल जगह पे एक्सपैंड कर लेते हैं मेरा मतलब जितना रिसर्च किया उसे ये पता चला कि एक जगह डेंसिटी हिट करो उसके बाद ही दूसरी जगह जाओ तो हाँ तो शार्क टैंक जाने का वही मेरे को लगता है कि अभी कोई फायदा नहीं एक तो कि मतलब हाँ मैं पूरी इंडिया देख रही होगी लेकिन सिर्फ गुड़गांव में
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like to add that, I was reading a case study or something. I realized that कि कोई similar company was doing a similar product to this, and when the BC gives money, everything pressurized to expand to further cities, and the only problem is कि अगर किसी दूसरे सिटी में कुछ फकअप हुआ ना तुम्हारे गुड़गांव के कस्टमर्स में भी प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं कि यार नहीं वहां पे कुछ फकअप हुआ है जबकि तुमको आइडिया भी नहीं है वहां पे कौन मैनेज करे क्या है सो इट्स लाइक एक्सपैंडिंग द टीम इन अ वेरी फास्ट एंड पंक्चुअल टाइम कि यार मुझे ये भी करना है वो भी करना है सिटी भी मैनेज करना है टीम भी एक्सपैंड करनी है सब कुछ करना है फकअप होता है फॉर श्योर
I think the fundamental gap in our understanding of what raising capital actually means is we don't see it as a vicious cycle of insane expectations from the investor and the follow-on investor's perspective. Let's say anyone has put in money into your business, now they are expecting certain kind of outcomes that you might be ready to take on, but your organization might not necessarily be ready to take on. And once you've, let's say, raised your seed round or your Series A round, this investor is really expecting you deliver on those benchmarks because he wants to exit to the next investor, and the next investor comes with an even stretchier deadline and even greater benchmarks that you personally might be ready to put up with. Your organization or your business might not sustain those insane benchmarks that they're setting because that's the kind of growth they're looking at because they're putting in so much money. So I think that's a fundamental gap in understanding meant to raise capital.
Yeah, and is
If
it
you do
required
not
to
have
raise
a
capital
PMF
right
before
now?
that, it's very difficult. Unless you're building a category altogether, then you definitely need money.
And also that is it required to raise capital right now or not? Because maybe as being a bootstrap you are also doing well, so there is no point of raising the capital.
I can better answer you this thing is that when it comes to capital now, when it comes to pre-seed companies and you are first-time founders, more than capital, you would need someone who can guide you.
Yeah.
Mentorship.
So if I have to
100%.
get a pre-seed money from someone, I'll be very selective when it comes to from whom I'm getting it. Because for me, getting money is a secondary thing. First, you have to get the product out in the market. You have to understand how things get done. Even after getting the money, if I am not aware how things get done, or if I am not getting to the right doors, no use of that money. That money will just be there in the bank.
Agreed.
So pre-seed ke andar to yaar, most important is be very selective from whom you are getting the money. And get mentorship.
Because the check size might not be significant, but the kind of person who's backing you changes
that
the whole
makes
game.
a lot of difference. So that is what
No, absolutely. To add your point, just to mention that to keep the money in the bank, उसमें फिर क्या होता है ना, वो money किसी और company में invest करना पड़ता है. Corporate finance सीखो, FD करो. That's it. Yeah, I think we're at the final conversation, and thank you so much, guys. I wish you all good luck. You guys are building something really great, and yeah, that's it.